Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue our studies, and this time we're talking about multiplying binomials using the distributive method of FOIL. A polynomial is a monomial, or the sum of or difference of monomials. Here, the binomial is a polynomial of two unlike terms, bi meaning two. Trinomial is a polynomial of three unlike terms, tri meaning three. Here are the steps to multiply using this distributive method called FOIL. The first step, multiply f, the first terms. Step 2, multiply the o, outer terms. Step 3, multiply the I, inner terms. Step 4, multiply the L, last terms. And step 5, combine the inner and outer terms. So let's take a look at our first question here. Find the product of x minus 5 times x plus 3. All right, let's first rewrite our problem. So we have x minus 5 times x plus 3. So the first thing we want to do is multiply the first terms. The first terms are the first items in each of the parentheses. That would be x times x. And x times x equals x to the second power, or x squared. The next thing we're going to do is the o, which is the outer terms. And the outer terms are going to be multiplying the farthest two that are apart. The first one and the one way at the end. So those are the farthest two apart. So that'll be x times the plus 3, or positive 3, and that'll give us positive 3x. Next thing we're going to do is the I, and that's the inner terms. Those are the closest two terms together. And that'll be the minus 5, or negative 5, times the x. So the negative 5 times the x. And that'll give us negative 5x. And the last thing we're going to do is the L for last. That'll be the last terms. That'll be the last number in each of the parentheses. So the last item. That'll be the negative 5 times the positive 3. And that'll equal to negative 15. So our answer is going to look like it is x squared, the first term, the outer term, plus 3x, the minus 5x, the inner term, and the negative 15, the last term. But there are common like terms here, these inner and outer. We have to combine them together. Now you remember, when the signs are different, that's a positive and that's a negative, you cannot add them. So you have to subtract 5 minus 3. That'll give you 2. And don't forget the x. And choose the sign of the larger digit, which is the negative sign in this case. 5 is the larger digit, so we'll make it a negative. And let's bring down the rest of it. The first term, x squared, and we combine the inner and outer, and that gives us negative 2x, and we have the last term, which was the negative 15. And there is our multiplying of polynomials using FOIL. So x squared minus 2x minus 15. And that's your answer. So that's how you do it doing FOIL. Here's another one for you, and I'll start you off a little bit. Find the product of 2y minus 1 times 3y minus 4. So you have to set up your FOIL again. So set it up. Let's go 2y minus 1, and that's going to be multiplied by 3y minus 4. So I'll just help you set it up. F will be the first term that you're going to multiply. Remember, it's the first one in the sets of parentheses, so that'll be the 2y times 3y. And you have a coefficient this time, so it'll be 2 times 3, and that'll give you 6, and y to the second power, or y squared. That's the f. And then you got the o, the outer term. That's the farthest two apart, the first one there and the last one there, the 2y times the minus 4. Then you got your inner term. I would do that one for you, but I'm going to leave that for you. The inner term are the closest two together, the negative 1 or minus 1 times the 3y. And then you got the L, last term, the last term being the last one in each set of the parentheses. That's your constants, negative 1 times negative 4, or minus 1 times minus 4. So hopefully you'll be able to get your answer here. So multiply your number, put your variable there, and hopefully you'll be able to get it. So I'll leave that for you. If you have questions, write them down. I'll be glad to answer them in the classroom, so hopefully you'll be able to figure this out. So I'll leave that for you to work on. Check your understanding. If you're having problems, write down your question, bring it in to class tomorrow, and I'll be glad to help you out. Here's a nice application of area of a square. We're trying to find it whose side is 1.5x plus 2 feet. Okay, so hopefully you know about the sides of a square. Here's one that we can work on. We have multiply t minus 5, and I notice we have a little exponent of 2 there. So when I see an exponent and this stuff inside the parenthesis, that lets me know I have to write whatever's in the parenthesis that many times. So I'm going to set up 2 sets of parentheses and put inside of it what was inside up there. So that'll be t minus 5 and t minus 5. So this is like the first one. The only difference was we had an exponent here, and we have to write that 2 times. So get the foiling, F-O-I-L. So you should be able to tackle that one. So bring in your question. I'll be glad to answer it. So check your understanding. Here's one with a fraction, and there's that exponent again. So see if you can handle that. I'll be glad to see you in the morning, and hopefully you'll do well on it. I hope you found this lesson helpful and easy. If you have questions, bring them in. Watch the video if you need to. I'll see you in the morning. This is Dr. Robinson. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.